We're back. Okay, so now let's do our foundation and highlight and contour. And if I have to pause and kind of run and feed a baby, I'll get back with you, I promise. Okay, so what we're using is the Mineral Touch Liquid Foundation. Doesn't want to come into focus again for me. This is Taffeta, is the color. See, it's kind of got a glare on it. Anyway, might be able to see the bottle now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have just a cheap liquid foundation brush. You can see it's filthy right now. It needs to be cleaned. It's actually time for a new one. But for today, it'll work. It's been working just fine. But kind of keep in mind, you do want to keep your brushes clean because they do harbor bacteria. And as you can see, like stuff like this kind of makes them pop up. Anyway, that's what this is for. We're going to cover those imperfections up. See, not everybody is perfect. Just because the look looks great at the end doesn't mean that you started off that way. So I've put a little bit on here, and what I'm going to do is just kind of tap it in like this. You can kind of, I had some on my brush and I don't want to waste that, so I'm just going to do it like that. Just didn't have quite enough. Then you're just going to kind of squeeze it, tap it just a little bit. You don't want to get too much into your highlight where we did the brow. If you do, it's okay because we are going to go back with some more concealer. But you don't really necessarily want to if you don't have to. You really don't want to get into that eyebrow because then you're going to be stuck starting over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this brush and kind of spread all of this out. I'm going to finish blending it with a blender ball because I just like the way that it spreads it out and thins it and makes it, I don't know, look a little bit more smooth and put together. And I was going to tell you too, I don't know if you saw the other video with the brows, but I went ahead and put on this Glorious Touch face primer before I did my brows because you're supposed to let it dry before you put on your foundation. And that kind of gives it time to dry and gives you, you know, something to do while you're waiting on it to dry and you're not just sitting there idly. So, okay. I'm just going to go up the middle right there. You can see where it's at and where it's not. Okay. Finish spreading this out some. And y'all, I go down my neck because I like my stuff to match. Or blend, I guess you'd say. Not match. I hope it matches most of the way already. You can kind of see, kind of not. But just kind of go down your neck. A little bit. Or a lot, however much you want to. Okay, and now that I've kind of got that, you know, where I don't have white spots anyway, we're going to take our blender ball and blend. If you kind of stretch your neck up, that kind of lets you blend that a little bit better. We're just going to blend that into our neck. That way you don't have a line. Kind of push mine back. Smooth all this hair. Just kind of push it back. And then up. Okay. And then take this from up underneath. Just kind of blend it in. And everybody's got their own technique. So if you have something different that works better for you, by all means, please go that route. You don't have to go my route. And get close up underneath the eyes right there. Alright, and on the lid, you don't have to go all the way up. Just kind of get right there. You don't have to go past the brow bone or anything. Okay. I'm going to end up with makeup all over my lips, y'all. So just, you know, bear with me. I'm going to kind of look ghostly. Blend it in. Okay, so we've got this. We're going to take this Younique blending brush, again, that we used a while ago with the concealer around the highlight. And we're going to kind of rub it like this, just to kind of blend that back in before we actually go in and do another highlight. I kind of hit my brow there a little bit. Kind of had some smearage. Kind of go in there. Alright, you see how that really like blends nicely? This lighting is terrible, y'all. I'm sorry. But we're going to make it work. I'll show y'all in some natural light what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to go back to our concealer here. See, finally. In Scarlet. Same one we used a while ago. At this point, I like using some of the BB cream to put in this triangle here and above the eyes. However, I'm out of the right color. This is Bisque, and if you want to do it like as an all-over moisturizer before you put on your foundation, you can use the same color. But I like using mine as a highlight and just to kind of moisturize this area, so I like using the cream color. But I'm out, so we're gonna work with the concealer today. And again, it doesn't take much, just a little bit. I just kind of squirt mine on the brush here. And I'm gonna start up here underneath the lash line. Being a mommy of a newborn and a 16-month-old and a 7 and 8-year-old, I kind of have those lovely bags under my eyes that, you know, we want to cover up. Ain't nobody got time for that. So we're going to take and we're just going to kind of draw our triangle out here. Until we look like a crazy person. But don't worry. I think one of the older girls took the wet wipes away. For some reason, my 16-month-old little girl loves sucking on wet wipes. And then she gets really ticked off when you take them away. I'm not really sure if anybody else has that problem with their toddler, but it drives me insane. I do not understand the obsession with sucking the juice out of the wet wipes. And before y'all go to having a fit, no, they are alcohol free, they are Honest Company, hypoallergenic, all natural, so she's not like gonna die. It's just really annoying. Okay, so we kind of got up in that T area there, triangle area. Okay, now that we've done that, we're gonna take and don't get too close to your brow. Okay, so we don't want to get right up on where we were at a while ago. Just kind of close to it and kind of use this and blend it a little bit, and we're going to go back with our blending brush and the blender ball and all that here in a second. And remember, if you don't like a major highlight, you don't have to do this. And this is going to kind of give a more subtle highlight than if you use the BB cream also, because this kind of blends in more. Okay, you want to come down your nose. This is going to be real straight, y'all. I have a lovely hump in my nose. I don't know if you can see that. So, kind of makes the line want to go off track a little bit. Okay, and then these right here, you kind of want to outline them a little bit. Just kind of run the brush over the top of them. Just lightly. See, that's not real. And you're going to go back and blend it, so don't freak out. It's not going to be that harsh. You want to kind of tap a little bit down here on their chin. And what this is, you're highlighting where the light's going to hit you. And it's just going to kind of make it show up real pretty and bright. Okay. Now that we're looking like somebody with a mask on here, I'm going to blend it. So that we don't look quite so crazy. Okay, so start off and use your blending brush. and just kind of stipple and drag it out. And this on the top right here, I sometimes like to go with the blender ball and blend it instead because it's really easy to get harsh lines right here. For me anyway. You see, you just kind of blend those out a little bit. They're not as harsh. And I'm going to go back with the blender ball like down here and kind of blend it out a little bit better. Okay, now take this. You want to kind of blend it. Start right there at the brow. Try not to get into the brow. Just kind of do sweeps until you get it all kind of brought where you want it. The little girl's in there singing to the toddler as they watch sing. Okay, you see these lines right here by your nose? Kind of want to. Okay, now that it's blended slightly, kind of take the blender ball and just kind of hit that line so that you don't end up with it being harsh. Hit this outline here so that it's kind of not quite so harsh. And then you can go back with your, and I just kind of tap it through here because I don't want to move it and make it look splotchy or take it all away and then all of the work that you've just done just be kind of gone, so to speak, because you've completely blended it in and your highlight has disappeared. Okay, so can you see how that blends? I don't know if you can really. I wish I had better lighting so I could show y'all better, but it blends. Kind of look like Casper right now, but nevertheless, it's blended. We're not going to look like Casper in the end. I don't know, I might look like Casper because I'm kind of light skinned. But, that's life. Okay, so now, I don't know if y'all can hear her in there, but it's pretty humorous. See? You look real Casper-y. And if you look Casper-y, then you're doing something right. Because at least you know you got a highlight going on. Kind of had to blend that a little bit more, sorry y'all. I cut stuff throughout and I kind of have to go back and fix it. Just because it kind of, my OCD kicks in and it kind of bothers me a little bit. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Touch Behold translucent powder. This only comes in one color. It's translucent. Can't see it. It just makes everything look super airbrushed. This is just your normal little kabuki brush or whatever you want to call it. And you're just going to kind of tap it in there. And then you want to stipple it. You don't want to drag it, because if you drag it, you're going to drag your makeup. When you stipple it, you're just putting it in place. And this right here, this is going to help make your lines and pores look a little more diminished, so to speak. I have big pores, y'all. And it's kind of hard to cover them sometimes. So we're just gonna stipple all around. And this has like a nice little, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like a mesh there, so it doesn't, all your powder doesn't like fall up out in the lid. Which is awesome, because if you're like me, I throw my makeup bag around and then I end up with powder everywhere, or it just ends up a huge mess. So we're gonna just do this till we got it the way we want it. Okay, y'all. Now, how's that? I think we're good. Okay. Now, And y'all, I'm coming from an Estee Lauder foundation. And I still have a bottle of it, and I'll show you what I used to use. I used to use this. It was Double Wear. And I loved it. I never thought that I'd steer away from it. Always used it for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And it's just been amazing. I haven't found anything that has leveled up with it. And then my mom started using Younique about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. And I never would try hers. Don't know why. Call me hard-headed. That's probably the problem. And I finally just decided that I'd try it. Since I was running out of my Estee Lauder, it's time to regroup, re-up. And I love it. So I had to order the starter kit. You don't have to order the starter kit, but it is awesome. And it changes monthly, so you can go in and you can go to the website and you can see what's in this month's starter kit, because it changes up just a little bit. But anyway, let's go back. Now, Younique has a contour palette. However, I am using the Beachfront bronzer for contour. Y'all give me just a second. I'm gonna pause it, hop off, and feed my infant, and I will return and show you what goes on next. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Sorry. Okay, so to do the contour, like I said, I'll go back. Beachfront bronzer. This is the sunset color. If you want to do one that's a little bit darker, this is the lightest. You can do Hermosa. And I like it too, but I kind of want to go, I don't want it to be too dramatic. Okay, so I'm just going to use, this is just a cheap contour blush brush. It's kind of a thicker, angled brush. You can get one Walmart, Target, Ulta, wherever, just like the others. Okay, and I'm just going to start here. You don't want to go at your earline. It's just going to kind of go right there about your hairline. Okay, you're just going to kind of sweep it. Just go back and forth. Kind of want to spread it. See how that kind of makes up? And we're going to go back and blend it. Don't panic. Don't freak out. Because I don't like some harsh lines, y'all. And like I said, it looks kind of funny in this light. And I will show y'all what it looks like in some natural light when I'm finished. And you just want to lightly tap in this and then layer it. You don't want to just flood your brush with it and then try to put it on, because what you're going to do, you're going to end up with a very harsh line and it's just going to look really caked on. If you do it in smaller layers, not put as much on your brush, it kind of helps to just make it, give it a more smooth airbrushed finish. Okay, so I have my major contour line where I want it for the most part. Oh, right there kind of looks like it needs to be blended. Okay, babe. There's kind of a little bit of a harsh line there, but we're going to go back and blend it. It's going to be okay. Now, I'm going to take like a thick powder brush. It's not angled. It's just, you know, and this is just another cheap brush. It's not a, you know, $40, $30 brush. And we're just going to kind of use this to kind of blend the edges a little bit. Just because it's a little bit thicker. Kind of helps just blend them out. And I'm not done blending, y'all, so don't freak out. Okay, you also want to put some of this up here at your hairline. And I kind of squeeze my brush like this just to make it kind of flat. Just a weird technique that I use. If you have your own, please go for it. Okay, like I said, you want to build this. You don't want to cake it on, because then you're going to be stuck looking funky. And I don't want you to look funky, especially if you're going to go say, oh, I learned from her how to do this. I'd rather you have it looking nice. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm going to kind of take my angled contour brush and just kind of dip it lightly and just kind of go around where we highlighted our chin. Just to kind of help blend that in. Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, had a baby emergency again. That's why I can't do lives. Because unless I do it like before I go to bed at night, after I've laid all of them down, we're just gonna be doing recordings instead of lives. That way I can pause for y'all. You don't have to listen to all that. Okay, back with the contour blush brush. Again, cheap brush. I'm gonna use the Moodstruck powder blush. Can't talk. In Serene. Now this is just a light shimmery pink. Doesn't have a ton of color, which is fine because I don't really want it to. I just kind of want it to have some of the shimmer and a little bit of the color. Just gonna kind of grin here. Right there on the ball of the cheek, and then kind of go up. Remember, build it. Tap once in your powder, build it. You don't want to overdo it. You just kind of want it to be subtle. Okay, so let me look through and make sure that I'm not leaving anything out, because I don't usually sit here and make videos and talk myself through it. So it kind of makes it to where I am confused about what I'm doing and I might leave something out. And I don't want to forget and tell y'all something. But I think that is the gist of the contour and highlight. And as you can see, it's just subtle. And I will, let's see, I'm trying to think. Sorry y'all, it's really hard for me right now. After the eye tutorial, when I have everything finished, that's when I'll kind of go in and I'll get the natural light and show you exactly what it looks like in natural light. Because this lighting, these LED lights and this dadgum camper, you can't, it's not very good for giving you a perfect final look. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the eyes in another video. That way they're kind of segmented and you can get what you want out of each. You don't have to watch all of the whole face if you don't want to. If you just want to learn about foundation and contour and highlight, you can do that. Or if you just want to learn about eyes, or if you just want to learn about brows and lashes. Either way, there's a video for everybody. We'll just go from there. Alright guys, thanks. See you later.